Good day, Grand Marshal fans, BeamNG enthusiasts, and players, and police chasing fans alike. My name is Usernamehere, and welcome to this invitational round of the Grand Marshal Grand Tournament. You may be wondering what the gimmick actually is going to be for this particular invitational here on the beautiful Gullah Coast. Well, the thing is, we turn the HUD back on and press, that's not the right button. If we turn the HUD back on and press escape, you will notice it's actually my game. You can tell because there's no mods here. This is totally the actual true story, and Devion didn't actually just uninstall his mods for this. It is absolutely real. And you can tell because Devion uses a controller to get the camera pads and stuff he does, but I'm on a mouse and keyboard, which means I can do this and give you all seizure warning. Anyway.
And also, you can tell by the fact that the reflections are turned down. Yeah,
the reflections are turned down. It's slightly different. Yes, so welcome to this beautiful day on Gold Coast, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing on this fine day, my friend Devion?
I feel like it's going to be a great day for a chase, and I hope the AI, chases them properly and not just crashes into walls.
Yeah, I know. We actually did a take of this yesterday. It lasted an hour, and the first round didn't even complete because they all crashed. And speaking of our competitors, in the first position, Devion will take us away.
So this Michigan State Police, as you can tell, he has the really stupid light bar on the top of his car.
That's not a light bar. It's a rotator.
It's technically, it has a light.
It's like a 50. It's like the only department in the nation that decided to just keep those 50s style rotators.
Yeah, and then there's a stop on the hood of the car.
Also,
and we all
on the hood.
We all know no one's gonna actually read that and stop. Like no criminal's gonna see that and oh wow, I'm gonna stop now because I saw a sign.
Yeah, you actually can't even see it from the front. Imagine this is what you see in the rearview mirror.
I don't even think that's effective whatsoever. There's no way that actually works.
Yes, indeed. Am I at the right field of view? I don't know.
It's fine.
I'm not exactly used to this control scheme. It's also a very poor control scheme. And like I said, Devion uses a controller. I'm on a mouse.
Oh, technically, it's a driving game. It's not a camera game. You wouldn't expect that to be the main priority. Anyways, we have Vancouver Police, which is not from the United States, from Canada, actually. And Canada, for your information, is on the north of the United States, and they are a different country. And, yeah, there's a Canadian leaf on the back of the car, that is red, and I think that the flag has one that's similar, that's also red. Yeah, it's a little shy. It's hiding behind the blue stripe. And yeah, that's all I gotta say about this one.
Indeed, that is our second place competitor for this invitational round.
Here we got Default Police Interceptor, which pissed off Usernamehere when he did a chase at Velasco City. And
yeah, the story is that I actually participated in a chase on the map Velasco City, which is, well, on the map West Coast USA, which according to the lore is the actual Velasco City. And this guy was in here, and I stopped the runner against the pole, and he crashed into me, and then the runner was freed. So, yeah.
Anyways, next car we have
could definitely bring some really underhanded, sneaky tactics if he wants to sabotage some of his competitors. Speaking of his competitors, here we are in the 4th place position. Devion, take it away.
Yeah, this is Maine State Police. I will use the same fun fact I know from yesterday, and I always bring up. Maine is the only state with one syllable in its name, and that's all I could tell you about it. It's also got Cop 15 lights. He must have done a lot of arrests.
That is true, yes. Look at that. He must have arrested 1,500 criminals. I wonder how much salt he got from that. I'm actually zooming in on the steering wheel instead of the lights.
That is a
I just noticed that the map on the dashboard is actually accurate.
Well, it wouldn't be inaccurate. That wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't make sense.
It's like imagine it's like having the map of Velasco City, but you're in Gold Coast on the GPS.
Indeed, yes. So
here's LSPD, but it might not be a police car because it doesn't say the word police on it.
Yeah, I know. If I may digress here, a bit of a sidetrack. This car has no word police on it. It doesn't. There's no police here. You see it here? You see? Is it there? Could it be there? It's not. Is it there? No, it's not. This car, hailing from Grand Theft Auto 5, has no presence of the words police or LSPD or law enforcement or anything on it. Nothing. It's just the city of Los Santos seal and then obey and survive, and that's it. And it would have taken them 5 seconds to put obey and survive there and put police there, but they didn't because they're idiots who are absolute fools. And by the way, it does say LSPD on the bumper stickers, but these are bumper stickers, and therefore it doesn't count. So yeah, this guy is not even a real police car, so he's probably just going to perform very poorly in the tournament. But in any event, In any event, it is time for our next position.
We have a storybook sheriff, and username here wanted as sheriffs. Therefore, this is why it's here, and I know nothing about it, and it's also in Maine.
It's from Once Upon a Time.
Wonderful. That is very good information to know.
And for those who don't know what Once Upon a Time is, it's basically like a show where it's like, hey, what if every Disney princess story was real and they lived in some county in Maine, I guess? What if every Disney princess story was real and they all just like had summer homes in Maine somewhere?
No, what
Yeah,
if every
like high like Milan or something like that.
what if every county was real? That is what username was
What
about
if
to
every
say.
county was real? Yes, imagine that. I also noticed that since they're technically in Maine, according to the seal, it says right there. I will zoom in on it. Right there. Yep. Says it right there. Look at those glorious pixels, ladies and gentlemen.
You know,
Yeah, I just realized since it says Maine and we have the actual Maine State Police car over there, could be an impromptu Maine team, actually. What do you think, my friend Devion?
you know, I think they might work together to get into the main tournament.
Devion achieving absolute peak comedy here, ladies and gentlemen. Meanwhile, in the 7th place position, we have this thing.
Yeah, this is the New York City Business Integrity Commission.
I've never heard of it.
I've never seen one, despite living in New York for like 16 years. So I'm doubt its existence. Yeah, and I cannot tell you anything about this, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm also a bit of a police vehicle enthusiast, and I've never even heard of this. I've never heard of this. I don't even know if this is real. Who knows?
It's very spooky, and we'll move
Anyway,
on to the last one.
our final position here.
It is.
Let's want to talk more about this.
No, I have nothing to say.
Okay.
So here we have a New York City Joint Task Force from the game The Division, and then we're hoping he could divide and conquer the tournament Invitational. Yes, that is a joke, by the way. That was very bad. And
Here's a secret. I actually don't get it. What?
I don't get it.
Oh, right, because it's from the Division. All right, I'm an idiot.
Yes. Anyways, he has a green screen on his hood, so if you ever want to shoot some movies, just stand on its hood.
Someone who actually has green screen experience, just like put like clips from the tournament before on his hood. Someone do that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know how to do that. And yeah, it's basically looks like Pennsylvania, but it's not Pennsylvania because it says New York City, and that's all I can say.
Liberty and justice for all. NYC.
Liberty and justice for all. Those are the last few words of the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yes. In any event, that is it for our lineup on this particular invitational, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Usernamehere, joined by my co-commentator Devion, and for today's invitational, it will be a normal set of rounds on Gold Coast with different cars, with the gimmick being that it's actually me doing the camera work today, and Devion can just sit back, relax, and use his words very frequently.
Yeah.
And speaking of those words, Devion, why don't you take us away for round number 1 of this invitational tournament?
So yeah, all the cars just start up your engines and then your sirens, and then like let's get chasing going.
Let's get some chasing going, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move.
So all the cars going one by one as username here's frame rate dips quite a lot.
That is true. My game is holding at 20 FPS for this.
Yes, and as you can see, there are a second and third seems to have quite a little bit gap compared to first and second, but they seem to be making it all through fine. It would be nice if we had a little bit cinematic corners coming up, so we get a good view of that.
Indeed, of course, yes.
And
have ourselves a look at the cinematic corner here in this game, ladies and gentlemen. Vancouver,
two cars spin out.
Interceptor appear to spin out. Same with Maine as well. Maine's spinning around himself just a bit.
LSPD makes it through.
Will be grabbing himself a bit of a position. Storybrooke almost hits Maine as well, and here comes BIC. Looks like LSPD will also be getting in front of Default Interceptor, and here comes JTF overtaking BIC as well, with Maine rounding out that, I believe, 6th place position.
You know, it looks like Joint Task Force tried to get a position there, but he's all the way in the back now. Like, he tried to overtake
True indeed.
BIC.
LSPD getting all these positions now in 3rd place. Very nice early game performance from him. How about it? Let me just actually switch to him. That's not the right. Here we go. Wait. Right, because it's a different position. LSPD actually managing to get himself that 3rd place position. Very interesting for him. Very nice performance here in his first round. How about it? How about it, Devion?
Yeah, he's all the way in 3rd now after that spin out at the cinematic corner, and he stole some positions. But looks like he's going to be spinning out again.
like default interceptor will be heading up into the freaking mountain. Well done. Looks like Storybrooke spinning out as well. Maine doing the same. It appears BIC looks like he'll get through it. Same with JTF. It seems just about. Yeah, BIC gets some position.
You should give Maine some help. Give Maine.
Meanwhile, back over here. Yeah, just hang on. Let me switch my camera. Okay. Yeah, I also give him some help.
Remember the Bovar. The Bovar is the
I know.
sturdy part.
Thanks. Yep. You're fine. But okay, here's Maine. Really hope the runner's not being caught or anything while I'm doing this. Let me just switch to the runner. In fact, that's a ship container. Here we go. Runner's set. Runner's all set.
Yep. Anyways, they're going down a long straight now. Unfortunately, Usernamehere could not help Interceptor and Maine at the moment.
That is true. Yeah. A bit of a fun fact about the game as Michigan screams over the long straight. Same with Vancouver as well. Bit of a fun fact about the game. It's actually kind of on our mind. Who's there? Here comes LSPD now in the third place position, still holding that position. Well done to him. The runner is on his way to the beach turn, ladies and gentlemen.
So yeah, this is the beach turn where most of the action takes place, but it looks like nothing's going to happen this time around. I feel like LSPD might overshoot it.
What?
LSPD might overshoot the beach turn. Just a hunch.
That's true. Someone could overshoot the beach turn. Michigan and Vancouver looks like having themselves a nice time. LSPD overshoots the beach turn, hit some rocks. Very unfortunate for him. Had a very nice start in the front of the game, but just not able to keep it up.
He'll make it through. Don't pull him.
What? Yeah, it looks like he will possibly recover from that on his own, though. I have faith in him. As the runner completes
I feel like you
lap.
should give Maine and Intercept a little help now.
I will when I can. Yeah, a bit of a fun fact for this. When Devion plays, he has to be mindful of what the runner is doing at any given moment and not spend too long helping the cars because the runner could be getting stopped while he's helping a car. And I am subject to the same feeling. I don't want to help them down there just in case. Oh, break it, I'll do it. Break it, I'll be quick about it. I'll be quick about it. That's his buffer. He has no push bar. Don't blame me. He has no push bar. Okay, wait.
He needs a pull.
He has no hubcap. That's okay. He's fine. Where's the default interceptor?
You flattened his tire, by the way.
That's okay. That's okay. Where is default Okay, well done.
Oh, looks like he's stuck in the trees with BIC, I think.
Looks like BIC and default interceptor are stuck in the trees just ahead. Very unfortunate for them. And what is going on with Maine as well? Because it's a bit curious. I actually respawned Maine up here, but they're yet nowhere to be found, even though there is their bumper and their hubcap that I removed from them. Looks like Maine could be going around the front.
Maybe he wiped out on the same corner that the Interceptor did, because a lot of cars tend to wipe out there.
Potentially true. Could be possible that Maine is actually up here having wiped out. But where is Maine now at this point? Maine just kind of disappeared, honestly.
You can switch to him to see if you can find him.
I will switch to him when I can as the runner rounds out this particular corner. Followed closely by Michigan and Vancouver, which are essentially playing their own Mississippi Police Interceptor game, ladies and gentlemen, battling for that first place position as well. So where is Maine? That's the Storybrooke rounding out the beach turn as well. They've been
the bus turn.
JTF heading down the incline. BIC stuck there. Storybrooke. LSPD stuck here as well. Very unfortunate for them. He has a push bar. Nah, he's fine. He got it. Oh, here's Maine. He's actually at the town for some reason. There's default interceptor, Vancouver, Michigan, and the runner, ladies and gentlemen.
So yeah, I don't know what Maine's trying to do. He's ahead of the runner, but he's still going further away from it. He's not like turning around to do a head-on collision.
That is true indeed. Maine should be turning around for a head-on collision if he has any intelligence to spare, ladies and gentlemen. As the runner enters the town, followed by Michigan as well as Vancouver.
And get a good spot, beach turn.
No problem.
So yeah, second lap around, I feel like the runner might spin out.
Second lap around the beach turn. Looks like Maine spun out on the beach turn as well. Very unfortunate for them as Michigan and Vancouver passes by the smoking wreck of them. Let me just flip him around very carefully and brief. There you go.
I wouldn't really call that carefully, but...
Shut up! Shut up! It's my first day on the job.
Yeah, where are the other cars at? It seems they've only got 2 cars here.
That is a good question. We still only have 2 cars here trying to chase the runner, ladies and gentlemen, as the runner reaches the ditch yet again. What are the other cars doing? JTF appears to be busted here. Same with BIC. Storybrooke is a little busted. LSPD moving around the long straight as well. Maine is actually back up, ladies and gentlemen, doing what he can. Default Interceptor is there as well. Vancouver, Michigan as well.
Can you check on the others?
Corner.
Can you check on the others again? look to the back. I'm trying to figure out what's wrong
Looks
with
like
this car.
JTF is a bit stuck on his bumper, I would say. Possibly, maybe. I don't know. Does he have no drive? I don't know. Regardless, it looks like the runner is now reaching the bus turn as well, followed closely by these two very fearsome competitors up in the front.
You know, it's
I
an
think I'm
invitation
actually
though.
going to go ahead and respawn some people. It's a button insert, right?
No, it's I. I is
Good.
first.
Yes, I almost pressed insert.
And that would have saved him in that
Bring
spot.
back the 12th Interceptor.
Wait, pause the game when you do that. Pause the game when you do
LSP
that.
is still up. Storybrooke is up.
Pause
Right,
the game when you reset, so like you don't miss anything.
Yes.
It's not like you have to
JTF
watch
has
it.
been busted. And that should be everyone. The lights on. Lights on. Lights on. And the lights on. LSPD, where is this? Oh, it's right in front of the front. Okay.
Right in front of the front. That is.
Let me switch. There we go. I like having the camera set to the runners so I have an instant go to runner button. It's very useful. Alright, anyway.
Unpause, continue. So, yeah.
Hold on, I'm joking. Fine. I tried to talk at the wrong moment. God dang it.
I had something to say.
Go ahead.
So yeah, it's invitational. It's not like any penalties for anything. It's not like you could get eliminated. So basically, you're supposed to be more aggressive here, but it seems like only 2 cars actually care about getting into the main tournament.
That is true, I agree. As LSPD moves around the cinematic corner, there is essentially nothing to lose for these cars, ladies and gentlemen, but everything to gain. And Vancouver and Michigan definitely want to gain it for themselves as best they can. And by the way, just gonna let you know. Oh, really? Rip! Gosh dang it!
Looks like LSPD's trying to enjoy the water.
I'll help him. I'll use the push bar. There you go.
You can move the camera while you're dragging cars, so you could that
Indeed,
helps.
yes. LSPD is now back up, but he is unfortunately in the last place position because all of these particular cars, BIC, JTF, Storybrooke, and I believe Default Interceptor in front of them have been respawned.
You know, it's interesting. LSP is in the back now, even though at the beginning of the chase, he basically just stormed his way to the front.
I agree. The beginning of the chase went so well for him, yet unfortunately for him, he had a pretty bad time, took some pretty bad turns, and as a result, is now pretty much in the last place position as well, with Michigan and Vancouver still holding those first and second place positions.
Beach turn,
I know,
go a bit quicker up ahead, like.
I know.
Yeah, I'm just trying to help.
But now here we are at the beach turn again, ladies and gentlemen. This is usually when the runner spins out, I think. Yep, there it is, right on cue. Runner spinning out in the third lap, gets hit bit by Michigan. Michigan trying to T-bone him and do what he can. It looks like Vancouver will be actually hitting Michigan. Some very fierce competition.
But he's going to get turned around, I think.
But it looks like the runner will potentially be just spun around. And it looks like the head-on collision has now just been opened for whoever is in the third place position. There is no one, however, coming along through the town at the moment that I can see.
Let's speed up a bit quicker. Go like ahead, see if we can catch anyone.
What?
Speed up quickly and go ahead so you can catch anyone. And you can follow him as he tries to hit the runner.
That makes sense. There's no one at the time. Whoever could get that head on is very far away from the runner.
Remember, a couple cars got reset, so like they should be nearby.
Anyone, where are the cars as well? Oh, here comes someone. Something happening with Maine, ladies and gentlemen. Maine has a bit of a problem on the long straight, but here comes Default Interceptor, and here is the runner coming out the turn. He gets the head-on collision, ladies and gentlemen. Default Interceptor with the head-on collision is now pushing the runner into the forest. Storybrooke misses the hit. Here comes Vancouver. LSPD and Vancouver have a collision in the back as well. Very unfortunate for them. And here is Michigan to round out our lineup right here. And it looks like the runner has been stopped, ladies and gentlemen. Default Interceptor with the very nice head-on collision strikes into the runner and sends him into the bush.
You know, he was not what I expected to win, considering what he did at Belasco City. And like,
that is true, considering what happened at Belasco City and how he screwed over me personally. I did not expect him to win, especially due to the fact that the train wreck set of rounds, and by that I mean one. He also won that, also with a head-on, so it looks like history repeating itself. So yeah, how about it? And for the record, I paused so that there's no siren sound, and so the frame rate's better. Yeah, it looks like that's the end of our end of this particular round, ladies and gentlemen. Let's look through the lineup.
So Michigan was kind of like dominating the entire time, but he got the spin on him, but basically turned around for a head-on collision. So yeah, I think he would have won if he kept the runner in place when he first hit him.
True, Michigan could have won if he was able to keep that contact at the beach turn and not lose it.
So Vancouver gets screwed over by LSPD by getting head-on collisions. Like at the
Imagine
end.
this is like a wallpaper. You just have like freaking Internet Explorer in the center.
Oh, nice, nice.
I have an idea. You label Vancouver as Google Chrome, and then you make it. Actually, no, you label LSPD because LSPD hit Vancouver. You label LSPD as Google Chrome, and you label Vancouver as your computer's RAM.
Oh, nice.
Would be good, yes.
But yeah, he didn't even hit the runner. Actually, he just got taken out by LSPD when he missed the runner.
That is true. LSPD with some very corrupt and aggressive tactics as well, striking right into Vancouver, our one of our fiercest competitors here in this invitational tournament.
So yeah, what's the next card?
Default Interceptor's in third.
We talked about him. He
Like in the
literally.
right.
So who's in fourth? So we have Maine over here who flipped over, which was not seen on camera, but I genuinely have no clue. I think he probably hit a tree or
Caught
something.
an bed over here though.
What?
Caught a little bit in the background.
Yeah, but I think he probably just hit a tree, and that's about it.
Yeah, I know he probably just hit a tree, as evidenced by the fact that his a few important bits of his car are missing.
Well, you pulled off the front bumper, which is stuck at
yeah,
the cliff
like I
turn.
said, a few important bits are missing.
Yeah, that's all I gotta say about him. He got stuck at the cliff turn because I have no clue why the AI does that. And Username had to help him out, but then he flips over.
Maine looks like a very unfortunate case. I agree. Yes, Maine getting stuck at the cliff turn, the beach turn, and the long straight. Maine apparently is the master of crashing. Very unfortunate for them.
Well, we have LSPD. We kind of talked about him.
We talked about LSPD.
Storybrooke. He has literally 0 screen time because he did absolutely nothing this entire round.
Yeah. Storybrooke Sheriff did nothing. He showed up at the end, so he gets points for that.
Who is not here? Who is not here?
That is a good question.
You have 6 cars, so there's 2 cars that are not here at the moment, which we will go to right now. So we have Joint Task Force over here, who wrecked with BIC, both also irrelevant cars that did absolutely nothing and have 0 screen time. And yeah, that's all I gotta say about them.
Indeed, yes. Very unfortunate for them crashing on this turn yet again. Extremely unfortunate. And yes, shift there.
So yeah, I think that'll conclude round 1 of the Invitational in this episode.
Indeed, yes. Round 1 is over, ladies and gentlemen. Round 1 goes to Default Interceptor, and we will be back here for round number 2. Welcome back to our starting lineup for round number 2. The cars have been reset, and speaking of our cars, let's get an introduction for our first vehicle. Michigan State, please.
So Michigan, he kind of was in the lead, but then again he spun out the runner and basically gave someone else a point. Interceptor, which is in 3rd place.
That is true. Michigan did in fact spin out the runner and give the point to Default Interceptor right here. And Vancouver just got completely smashed. These top 3 competitors here, ladies and gentlemen, have had quite the interesting first round here in this invitational tournament.
And next up we have Vancouver, which was a pretty good competitor to Michigan, but then he got taken out by LSPD at the end. So yeah, this is Interceptor who scored the first point of this invitational. I don't know, he's been just hanging back and waiting for his time to come.
Indeed, yes. Default Interceptor found his time to strike. He has, however, been hanging back for most of the rounds and pretty much playing a sneaky game, waiting for his opportunity to strike. And that opportunity to strike has, in fact, led him to victory in the first round, as he has 1 point here in this invitational tournament.
Next up, we got Maine State Police, which the Cop 15 lights don't seem to be helping him that much, and he kind of flipped over at the end and got stuck at near the cliff turn. So yeah, not really having a great day.
Indeed, my friend Devion, Maine is surprisingly being a very poor competitor here in this game, has flipped around 3 times in that first round, despite the fact that his Cop 15 light should be a show of prestige, haha, jokes. as well as a way to make his car more aerodynamic. Yet these advantages have not been helping him in any way in this game.
Next up, we have LSPD, which basically took out Vancouver in the first rounds, and yeah, that's all I gotta say about him.
That is true. LSPD with some very aggressive tactics, pulling out a page from. Hasn't really been anyone that aggressive in the tournament recently. Well, Seacrest right in the beginning. I don't know.
Yeah, we did,
Yeah,
but not officially in the tournament, but we did have Paradise Police, who did like kind of was super aggressive.
True. Yes, in the 15-round tournament, Paradise Police was an absolute. Oh, remember Philadelphia, old 90s Philadelphia? In the 15-round tournament, there was a 90s Philadelphia car, which was obviously had the 90s livery of the city of Philadelphia, which was super aggressive and fearsome and hit people all the time. LSPD taking a page out of that particular vehicle's playbook and absolutely smashing Vancouver. However, it could have been a bit of a vindictive play due to the fact that the round was actually over and he did it anyway. So yeah, very interesting and perhaps fiery competitor here in LSPD.
So Storybrooke Sheriff, the only sheriff here, and he basically got like no screen time whatsoever in round 1 and was in the back for most of the time there.
True, yes, Storybrooke Sheriff, despite wanting a position in the main tournament, has not really done anything to achieve that here, but there are still 2 more rounds to go, 2 more rounds that could go to him.
So next up, we have the Business Integrity Commission, and we are still unsure whether or not he exists. And anyways, he basically wiped out at the trees along with someone else that I don't remember. And yeah, that's all he did. He just wiped out. It was JTF, yes. Him and JTF basically just wiped out at the trees.
He and LSPD have something in common, the fact that they don't even seem like real police cars. They seem like they're trying to bring in that kind of sneak tactic, a little bit like NYPD Undercover, and just essentially pretend to not be a police vehicle. However, it has really not been helping them out very much here in this game. However, there are still 2 more rounds to go for this Invitational.
You know, on one hand, LSPD, like, we have confirmation he exists because he's from a video game and there's tons of photos of him and footage.
True.
But we have no confirmation that BIC exists whatsoever because Usernamehere has never seen one. I have never seen
heard
one.
of this. In fact, Business Integrity Commission New York car. See if this is a real. It probably would be a real thing. Oh, it's an actual real thing. I found a picture of a Crown Vic. It's a real thing.
How many pictures do you see of it? Because I searched up MTA road ops and there's only 1 photo I've ever seen of it. So how many photos of this do you see?
Yeah, apparently this is a real car. Not anything I've ever heard of until today. Until recently.
Is that the only photo that you saw of it? There's gotta be more photos of the car, right?
I don't know, but that is something I did find, for what it's worth.
But send me another image, like a second photo.
I can't find any other pictures.
See, look how rare it is. It's like the Dodge.
Yeah, super rare.
It's like the Dodge.
Little known fact that this is actually one of the rare vehicles of real life. Please look up a YouTube guide on how to get it.
The Law Enforcement Chronicles in New York.
The Law Enforcement Chronicles New York.
You know, it's like trying to find a Dodge Charger, not highway pursuit with the cop rims on it.
That is true. Yes, that is a super rare thing. In fact, you can probably look up another YouTube guide for that as well. But in any event, ladies and gentlemen, we do have an invitational to do, and in our final position, we have JTF for the city of New York.
It feels so. This is a JTF. He also wiped out the trees with BIC, and he has that green screen on his hood. Doesn't seem to be helping that much.
Yes, indeed. He thought it would confuse the people in front of him. He thought actually being in last would be an advantage as a result, but it turns out it's not been helping him at all. And for the record, it is worth noting that this is from the Division. This is what the NYPD cars look like in the Division.
Yes, unfortunately, they look like cars from Pennsylvania State Police before they made the cars all
like
gray.
Pennsylvania State Police cars. Yes, indeed.
Anyways, that concludes our lineup. So, drivers, start your engines and your sirens, and then we will start the chase.
It is time for round number 2 of this invitational to begin. As my frame rate completely dies a horrible death. In the first position, we have Michigan State Police, followed closely by Vancouver in the second position with default Interceptor moving ahead as well. Maine State Police in the 4th, LSPD in the 5th, Storybrooke in the 6th, BIC in the 7th, and JTF in the 8th, rounding out our lineup for this round that will be hosted. Sorry, I'm trailing off. It happens sometimes when you commentate. Ooh, looks like the runner's already at the cinematic corner. That doesn't usually happen.
Yeah, they got there pretty quickly this time.
Yeah, no, it seems a little bit faster than normal. I don't know if it's just me, but yes.
So it looks like all the cars make it through fine. Well, Vancouver's really going into it.
Vancouver makes it through fine. Maine default interceptor with a little bit of contact though due to that spin out. LSPD being blocked as well. Default interceptor holds his third place position. It looks like some position changes could occur here.
Storybrooke's losing a position.
LSPD holds that fifth place position. Storybrooke losing a position to BIC as well, but it looks like besides that, everything will be pretty much stable for this lineup.
So a runner's coming down the incline.
The runner is now coming down the incline with Michigan in the first, Vancouver in the second, default interceptor in the third. These are some very hefty competitors here, ladies. Some very hefty competitors here in the first, second, and third place position. So how do you feel about these competitors?
You know, I'm wondering where fourth place is because he's actually quite far back. I don't see him from here.
That is true. Maine State Police right here at pretty much kind of sort of the back. LSPD not far behind, but it looks like default interceptor will be heading up the hill. Very unfortunate for him. And how are things going over at the runner? The runner manages to get across the cliff. Looks like with default interceptor out of the picture. So is Maine though. Looks like Maine has spun out as well.
Almost gets hit.
BIC slamming on the brakes in order to avoid. It looks like LSPD is a bit busted over there as well. BIC slamming on the brakes to get ahead to avoid hitting Maine, but it looks like Maine will actually somehow come out on top of that because Maine is now in the third place position behind default interceptor. How about it?
Yeah, it's a pretty big turnaround compared to the first one where he basically just crashed everywhere and got hit by everyone.
Indeed, yes, Maine having himself quite the interesting round here. In the first round, he did nothing. He did nothing but crash, and now in this round, he is actually. Please don't have crashed while we're hyping.
They might have wiped out the force. Yeah, you gotta get pull them out.
I want to scream! This is all 5 of the other cars.
You gotta pull them out. A little quicker than that. You can't. Don't just watch there. Just like pull cars out quickly.
Oh my God! Maine managing to get out of this gigantic freaking mess. I can't believe every single car wiped out in this turn. We're gonna have to put a new shipping container here. God dang it, you freaking idiots. You don't have a bumper anymore. That's fine here. Just careful there. There you go. You got to...
check back on the runner.
Push bar. I will second how things going over at the runner. Looks like the runner has passed the beach turn. My apologies, but luckily nothing interesting has happened over there.
Alright, check back on the other cars. Check back on the other cars. It's fine.
And it looks like most of the competitors are now back up at that.
They're not going to catch him here. Check back on who's
like
still
JTF screaming down the long straight as well. BIC. Here's Storybrooke. I have to get out of here as well. That's his bumper.
So now all the cars have been repositioned back on the road. We can get this chase going.
Indeed, yes. All 5 of those cars have been brought back. Where's this other? So there's these two. Michigan and Vancouver are in the first and second position still, and there were 5 cars crashed over there. But who is left is a good question. The LSPD over here. Yeah, it's LSPD over
I could drag him back on.
Yeah, I know, but then he'll just get ahead. You know what? I will be unbiased. He's probably gonna get ahead on here.
You can move the camera. You can move the camera.
Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and get him out of here.
Not like that. Not like that.
Yeah, no, not like that.
So yeah, now LSPD has been fixed back up. I wonder if he's gonna like try to get a head-on collision here.
That is a good question. LSPD actually looks like he's a little bit stuck over there, and here comes the runner. Will he manage to get a head-on? Will he manage to get a head-on collision here, though? Looks pretty good. No, he misses the head-on collision and almost blocks off Michigan as well as Vancouver. They both managed to get in front, though, but as a result, it looks like LSPD will now be technically in the third place position as I see no one up at the incline.
Yeah, I wonder what happens in fourth place. They're still pretty far back, even though you kind of like got them back on the track.
That is true. Whatever happened to the other competitors, really? Looks like Michigan and Vancouver are having themselves a bit of a battle over here in the cliff turn. Not really sure what's going on over there, but it looks like they will be rounding that turn just fine. And with the fleet car so far away, it looks like the runner will now be slowing himself down a little bit.
Looks like Interceptor got wiped out at the trees.
Default Interceptor being the stupidest man alive, so literal smooth brain here, gets stuck on one edge of the turn and then gets stuck on the other edge of the turn after I pull him out. Looks like here comes Vancouver. Michigan nowhere to be seen as well. There's Michigan, never mind. So looks like it will now be a battle between Interceptor and Vancouver. How about it?
Well, the fleet car is pretty far back now, so Interceptor might get a chance to get his second point here.
That is true. Interceptor could get a second point in it, potentially even render the third round moot. Would you actually believe that if Interceptor is able to capitalize on this?
I mean, like that would kind of like depends if you want to do a best out of 3 or first to 3. It's up to you.
I think a best out of 3 would make sense, but I think it is up to you, my friend Devion.
I think if another car scores a point on the third round, we could have a tiebreaker.
That is true, yes.
Oh, we got
look, we
roadblock
found
up
a lot
ahead.
of our other cars. Looks like there's a massive roadblock at the beach turn, and I'm going to go ahead and leave it there and see what these cars do. Here comes Default Interceptor. Default Interceptor doesn't even turn at all, smashes the rock. Looks like the runner's trying to get around Storybrooke, and there goes Vancouver with a beautiful barrel roll. Who is left to stop the runner?
No, I don't know. He might be turning around.
Runner's completely fine. Michigan, there's JTF. Looks like Default Interceptor. Maine LSPD, of all people, is the only one left to stop the runner, but he has no speed to his name, and if he is unable to do it, then I will most likely start to respawn some cars and pull some cars back. In fact, the runner's overheating, so I might as well just do it right now. Let's just pull you out of there. Here comes LSPD as well. What is he going to manage to do here? It looks like he has decided to just have himself a break, literally, get it? Because he braked. Yes,
yeah, looks like LSPD is going to thread the needle and get through there. Or not, he's just going to stand there.
Hopefully LSPD will decide to thread the needle, but looks like he will not be doing so. Let me just give him a bit of a push, and it looks like pretty much all the cars are out, honestly. So, ladies and gentlemen, with the massive train wreck occurring back over there, the following cars have been respawned. Michigan has been respawned, Vancouver's back, Maine is back, LSPD is back, Storybrooke is back, BIC is back. I will now rush over here and pull Default Interceptor back, because even though he took a really bad hit, I think he's okay. And the final car in our... Yeah, he looks okay. He looks
yeah,
kind
I
of...
told you he's okay.
Yeah, he's fine. He's all right. And the final car here is JTF, ladies and gentlemen, who is still up and still pretty much pristine. These two cars are the only ones that will not be respawned here. Standard, yep. And it looks like the
although
round is
I
back on
believe that LSPD should not have been respawned.
I know. There's Vancouver having himself a spin out. Maine gets around Vancouver and manages to take that second place position.
Well, no, he's not going to get it.
Looks like Vancouver will recover from it and manage to hold that position. Looks like LSPD and Storybrooke are now battling for fourth as well, with BIC coming out in the 5/6. It looks like the LSPD will be winning that particular fight. And there comes Default Interceptor and JTF as well to round out our lineup.
You know, I believe all the reset cars have an advantage because, like, they're now ahead of the non-reset cars and have, you know, fresh cars.
That is true, yes. That is true, yes. They do have a little bit of an advantage, and that is a little unfortunate. But at the same time, these cars could definitely wipe out, as they are going to be some of the first to reach this really glitchy clip turn. You know, for the record, I want to say that as much as LSPD's car did work fine, I had a hunch that the AI felt like the chase was over and stopped, and I just wanted to respawn it just to be safe.
No, the AI was stopped because there was an obstacle in the way.
They parked. He parked up the way they do at the end of a chase. So
they still follow the car if he starts moving again.
Well, either way, Vancouver in third, Maine in third, actually, not Vancouver. And it looks like LSPD will now actually be in fourth, with BIC in fifth. And who else is here, if anyone?
He does not deserve help.
As Default Interceptor and JTF actually manages to
he does not deserve help because his car's been reset. He's already been given a second chance.
I guess that makes sense. Default Interceptor with a bit of a problematic collision with something. Not really sure what happened. It looks like he has no tire as well. Very unfortunate for Default Interceptor. It looks like he may not be winning this round.
Yeah, it looks like it's probably going to Vancouver and Michigan, unless they spin him out and decide not to stop him, which leads on to a head-on collision.
That is true. Michigan and Vancouver essentially have this... Did I just hear a crash? Michigan and Vancouver essentially have this round in the bag. Potentially, if... Michigan and Vancouver potentially have this round in the bag unless they decide to go ahead and pit maneuver the runner, allowing him to turn around and potentially allowing some competitor like Maine to get a head-on collision. Maine, by the way, is kind of not very close here as well. Let's see what happens on the second instance of the beach. It looks like that spin-out will happen once again. Michigan with the pit maneuver again. Vancouver with a pretty nice head-on, which actually rounds the runner forward as well. Trying to stop the runner as best he can. Vancouver doing everything he can. He's pushing him against the rock. But will it actually be enough?
You know, I think it's too low of a speed to actually catch the runner, because he's still running, and that wasn't really a hard hit.
I agree. This is a very slow speed. Vancouver with plenty of damage. Michigan is still in the game, and the runner is simply going back onto the road like nothing's ever happened, followed by Vancouver, who is now in the first place position, with Michigan doing his best to recover his position as well. Or
he's stuck on a rock.
Into a rock because he's smart.
Should help him out.
I will help Michigan around here. You can just go around that rock, buddy, gently. There you go.
You you got him back into the rock.
Yep. That's not actually on his push bar, but whatever.
You could move the camera, yeah.
That one. There you go. Michigan's back. Anyway.
So yeah, where's third place? Because like there, you
Where
had
is third place? Yes, indeed. Where has Maine gone? Let me just make sure that bundle said, yep. Where has Maine gone, actually? We've got Michigan. It looks like we have JTF in the third place now as well. Around the beach turn, who kind of took a screwy beach turn, but no one else is pretty much here to be found. So it sounds like they might have screwed up at that one forest turn that the AI is super bad at.
looks
And
like we
yes,
found
as
this root of
expected, here
problem.
is Maine, LSPD, and BIC, so we got a freaking collection of idiots here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it looks like Vancouver's getting the point. Runner's car is pretty worn out at this point, and he's the only one in the lead and close enough to catch the point, catch the runner.
Indeed, yes. However, Vancouver has a bit of a metaphorical hill to climb because Vancouver is in fact the flea car, meaning that the runner will be doing everything in his power to escape Vancouver.
Well, considering how worn out his brakes are, no matter how hard he tries, it's not going to make it any better.
True indeed. Storybrooke and Default Interceptor are busted, but now the runner is coming right around towards that cliff turn once again, and despite it, and here comes Vancouver as well, still in that first place position past these two unfortunately damaged competitors. Really?
Okay, well,
Really?
unpause and talk about it.
Really? 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 Really?
Well, it looks like Michigan's off the cinematic corner, and he'll
Really?
be out of the chase.
Really? Yeah, so I literally just paused over there near Default Interceptor, and it spotted Michigan in the background falling to their death. Oh
Yeah,
my
there's
God.
basically no other cars that's competitive at this point.
It's
Vancouver's
basically
getting the
just
points.
going to come down between Vancouver and the Barstow. Yes, Michigan is in the drink. Vancouver's still going. Default Interceptor's busted. Maine's busted. LSPD's busted. Storybrooke's busted. BIC's busted. Oh, JTF, though, could potentially bring some
I don't
to
think he's going to get the
Vancouver.
point. He's too far back away from the
If
runner.
he manages to catch up, if Vancouver manages to spin him out, that is entirely possible that JTF could contend with Vancouver for the point as he screams over that particular jump on the straight.
So yeah, here comes the beach turn again, where most of the chases end, and it's probably going to be the end of this chase by then.
Potentially true, yes. Vancouver trying to scream in for that collision as best he can. And what is he going to manage to do here?
Runner might
Looks like
overshoot
the runner
it.
actually overshooting it a little bit because his brakes are a bit busted. Vancouver trying to come in but misses. Looks like the way to the point has been opened for JTF unless Vancouver can actually get back on the track, literally.
So yeah, JTF might actually get the point because I didn't expect the runner to overshoot it. I thought the Vancouver actually, hit
The
it.
runner typically does not overshoot, so unless JTF crashed somewhere, like at that forest turn, it looks like the way could be open for JTF to win this point. Here comes JTF! He did not crash at the forest turn. Will he manage to get the head-on? He gets the head-on by Gavril, was slightly not on it, unfortunately, but yes, he manages to get the head-on. It looks like it wasn't quite strong enough, though, to stop the runner, and here comes Vancouver moving in as well. It is now a battle for first between these two cars, ladies and gentlemen. Who will be able to come out on top?
I think the runner's dead, so like, we're gonna give the points to JTF.
I agree, and ladies and gentlemen, it looks like JTF, the back of the pack, doing what Velasco never could, stopping the runner with a beautiful and gorgeous head-on collision, taking advantage of all of the battles between Vancouver and Michigan, and actually managing to secure himself a point in this game.
I'm surprised, honestly, because normally, like, especially even in an invitation, cars in the back of the pack like tend to not do much during the whole episode. But it seems like JTF waited out the carnage and got the point at the end.
I agree. JTF waited out the carnage, managed to avoid the screw-ups that cost so many other runners their running engines, and managed to actually move in, stay in, didn't even get reset as well, and still persevered through it all in order to get the point, literally doing what Velasco never could.
Yeah, it's most of the time, even especially in invitation, the cars in the back don't get much screen time, but like seems like he's getting the most here in the second round.
Indeed, yes, I agree. That was an amazing round and a beautiful performance from JTF. So let us go ahead and check on our other competitors as well.
Vancouver, he was actually favorited to win round 2 because he was the only car really competitive and near the end and didn't wipe out. But he missed the runner when he overshot the beach turn and basically kind of just lost his chance to get a point.
Yes, indeed. His chances to get the point were pretty much lost the moment that he overshot the runner after the runner overshot the beach turn, and it looks like that was pretty much when the fate of this round was sealed. But it is also worth noting that JTF could have wiped out at the forest turn, like I said, but they didn't. They stuck through it all, and as a result, they were awarded the point.
Michigan, he's in the lead and he's expected to be getting points, but at the same time, he did fall off the cinematic corner with no help from anyone whatsoever. He decided to go down here himself.
Yes, Michigan decided he didn't want to be a police car anymore and wanted to just explore the ocean floor, even throwing off his rotator from his car and just seeing what life he could find out down on the ocean floor here.
Interceptor scored the first point, but then like he kind of messed up around here, and basically that's where he ended up.
Default Interceptor scoring the first points of this invitational, but just trying his best and not coming out on top. Trying his best to avoid screwing up in this round. Stayed up for as much as he could, but eventually, unfortunately, it looks like he lost a lot of front end integrity and also a tire at this particular clip. Very unfortunate for him, despite the fact that he was the champion of the previous round.
And all three cars here will be known as the cars that go into the forest for no reason, and we'll not go over them because that's just the epitome of basically what they did the entire round.
I agree. Maine, with an absolutely pathetic first round, tried to bring it back up, actually seized a spot from default Interceptor in this round as well, but unfortunately wasn't able to make something happen out of it. BIC as well, also not able to make something happen, just a lot of screw-ups on their end. And LSPD, despite being a very fierce competitor, unfortunately was also not able to avoid this fate in the trees as well.
So Storybrooke, he got reset, and then he basically took that chance and crashed into a rock, and he's here. I specifically didn't want to help him because he had the chance to do it, but you know, a fresh car doesn't always mean a fresh brain, so that means he kind of just wrecked himself there.
It looks like Storybrooke's brown color on their sheriff police interceptor actually seems to resemble the quality of their particular police work. Very unfortunate for him. So that's it.
Oh, so it looks like the green screen actually helped this time, and the Joint Task Force gets the win for the second round. And with the conclusion of that, we will reset all the cars and move on to the last round of this invitational. So all the cars have been reset now, and we will go through the lineup. Michigan, I don't know. He's in the front. He should be getting points, but at the same time, like, he hasn't scored any points yet and basically just wrecked himself.
I fully agree. Michigan, despite being in Mississippi's spot, as well as just not managing to get themselves any points, despite being a fierce competitor and despite holding that first place position for quite a while. Michigan, even though he's in the first place position with nothing to lose, has just not really managed to bring anything out of it. He is in Mississippi's shadow, literally, because he is in Mississippi's spot, but he is just not managing to pull anything out of it. Very unfortunate for him. However, he does still have one round that he could use to make it or break it.
Yeah, so here we have Vancouver, who is also in the front and should be getting points. At least he's putting more effort and hitting the runner a couple of times, but it seems like he's not really getting points by doing that. He's just kind of giving other people points.
That is true indeed. Vancouver and Michigan, but especially Vancouver, have definitely kind of been taking pages out of Mississippi and Police Interceptor's playbook. Very strange for them. Despite having nothing to lose, they've just been fighting each other and ruining their own chances of getting points, because who has points in this round? Not these two.
And in the third spot, we have Interceptor, who scored the first point. Didn't score anything in the second point, but all he had second round. But all he has to do is score one more point, and he's inside the main tournament. So let's hope he makes this easy for us and scores a point in this round.
Indeed, yes. Default Interceptor with 1 point. The kind of sort of tied for first champion in a way, just like Mississippi Police Interceptor used to be. The tied for first champion of this particular invitational tournament, despite the fact that he is a no-good backstabbing loser who crashed into me literally on Glasgow City that one time. But seriously, yes, he has really brought his A game kind of to that first round. However, he was not able to bring it out in the second. such equipment as that unique light bar as well as his push bar has not been able to help him. But if he manages to get a second win, he could find himself in the main tournament and could find himself staring down someone who's very identical to him. Normal Police Interceptor, Default Interceptor could definitely potentially prove to be a very interesting and formidable competitor, but that is only if he is able to win this invitational.
So here we have Maine State Police. He has not really done much, and he's joined the others and crashing into the forest now. And
that's true. Maine is a land full of trees. Source, I've been there, and Maine clearly just wants to be one with the trees instead of bother with the police chasing, evidenced by the fact that his car essentially blends in with the sky, so camouflage. But yes, Maine is just, I don't even know. He's not really trying that much. I feel like he has nothing to lose, but at the same time, he has everything to gain. But at the same time, he's just kind of in it for the fun, I guess. Just kind of having some sightseeings, maybe kind of trying a little bit on a few occasions here and there, but overall, just not really standing up to such formidable competitors as Michigan, Vancouver, Default Interceptor, or JTF.
So here we have LSPD. He's been causing quite a lot of trouble this invitational, but he hasn't scored any points yet. He has like gotten close to scoring a point. That proves that his aggression is getting him somewhere, but it's not really going all the way through.
Indeed, yes. His aggression is definitely pretty unique of this particular competitor, but hasn't managed to translate into points. The answer, unfortunately for him, is no. So it looks like perhaps the best police chasing tactics are not, in fact, from GTA 5, because they rubber band anyway. But in any event, it looks like LSPD this will be his last chance to be entered into the tournament in this invitational, that is. This will be his last chance at the moment to be entered into the tournament. And if he is able to score a point, he could go to the tiebreaker round. And if he is not able to, then he will not be entering the main tournament anytime soon.
Okay, so here we have Storybrooke Sheriff, got reset, and did absolutely nothing. We will move on to the next car now. So here's BIC. He crashed into a forest, and see, on one hand, JTF crashed into a forest, but then he got a point. BIC crashed into the forest and did absolutely nothing, so we will move on to the last car now. JTF, he scored a point, but in the first round was pretty disappointing, but, he made up for it at least. And, yeah, that's all I gotta say about all these cars.
JTF persevering and embodying some of the Belasco spirit that they wished they had over in Belasco City. Despite being in the last place, managed to actually win and prove that the last place position can win points. Doing what Belasco never could. He is on the board with 1 point. However, he is going to have to fight to the finish if he wants to break that tie with Default Interceptor, unless he wants to battle in a tiebreaker round.
So, drivers, start your sirens and engines, and then now the chase will be started. Oh, looks like we got a big pile up in the back there.
We got a big pile up. You have Michigan in first, Vancouver in second, Default Interceptor in third, Maine in fourth, Storybrooke doing whatever the frick, LSPD in fifth, just kind of gloating a little bit. What the frick is Storybrooke doing? Little bit of foul play here, ladies and gentlemen, just bumping into JTF, and as a result, losing a spot and being in last place now. Very strange behavior out of Storybrooke.
I think that's a self-serve penalty right there. He blocked off JTF, but then he got into last place.
That is true indeed, a self-serve penalty. Storybrooke, one of the worst cars I've ever seen. One of the worst performing cars I've ever seen. Looks like Vancouver will not be spinning out. Default Interceptor having a bit of a problem. He's a bit wide. Maine spinning out in the background as well. Looks like LSPD could definitely take advantage of this if Maine is able to. Unless LSPD goes off into the drink, he does not. BIC moving in as well. Here comes JTF. Maine with an absolute disappointment as well, screwing himself over completely right at the beginning of the round. I can't believe he's managed to actually do that. Maine's still having a burnout. Let me just go ahead and fix them. They don't need that bumper. That's fine, and I think they're back. Yep, they're back. Maine is all set.
So yeah, cars are coming down the incline and followed closely by first, second, and third. Fourth is pretty far away. I think that's LSPD.
Yes, indeed. LSPD now in fourth due to the absence of Maine. It looks like BIC in fifth, JTF in sixth, and Storybrooke in seventh, managing to actually take a position despite that very strange beginning to the round.
Oh, LSPD goes flying into the...
LSPD going flying, grabbing some style points. It looks like a lot of spins happening here as well. Storybrooke manages to get ahead in fourth, and BIC is not happy about that. LSPD is now flipped over as well. It looks like JTF will be needing some help here in this particular game. But here comes Maine in the background, actually managing to grab up some of that ground that he lost. JTF just backed right back up into the rock. All right, well done. How are things going over at the runner?
Looks like it's just the usual again, the top two. But the funny thing is the top two cars aren't.
Interceptor. Default Interceptor looks like he screws up here in the sports turn, but manages to actually recover from it, losing his front bumper in the process. But he is still in the game, and that is what's important.
I believe you meant the rear bumper.
Did I say front bumper? I meant rear bumper. But yes, looks like our two very strong competitors over in the front, Michigan and Vancouver, once again battling. It looks like Vancouver is actually a little bit further away from Michigan than he normally would be, and as a result, it's possible that being the fleet car could cause the runner to slow down a little bit here.
I don't think anything's gonna happen because the first two rounds in this invitation, nothing's happened at the beach turn on the first lap. So I don't think anything's gonna happen.
Yes,
now.
very little tends to happen at the beach turn. Michigan speeding up just a little bit though, gets closer, but unfortunately not enough to make anything happen. Michigan and Vancouver will continue to be battling out for that first place position.
And now we will go on to fix the other cars that are back there.
Yeah, I know. Let's
see. You're kind of waiting too long. Now his car's overheating because like you got to do things a bit quicker.
He'll live. He's fine. He's fine. Don't worry about it. He's fine. He's back. Who else is around here?
He's not fixed. No.
Why not?
His car's not gonna run though. He's been flipped over for too long.
Oh.
His car's not gonna run.
He doesn't have no drive shaft. Let me just look under his car. Looks like Maine coming around on the beach turn. He gets a bit busted as well. Bit stylish destruction, but unfortunately for him, he is now.
Don't pull him back on. He's not running. There's no point in having a steel car in the middle of the track.
Once again, I'm not the greatest at this game, but looks like the runner has a piece of Maine.
I mean, does that mean Maine gets the point if the runner gets taken out? Because technically he was touching him at the time.
Oh my god, Maine. In a way, Maine is constantly touching the runner, and that means Maine could by default get the point. We will definitely have to consult our judges about that particular.
I mean, I believe if the runner takes himself out, but technically he's touching Maine, then like Maine gets the point, right? Wouldn't that make sense?
That would be the most insanely hilarious end to a round if Maine wins despite like all of this. Maine has been screwing up so badly. Looks like Michigan with a bit of speed here, actually managing to grab some contact. Looks like the runner, but here comes JTF with the smash. What an incredible smash! Michigan spins the runner out at the bottom of the incline, and JTF out of nowhere actually manages to grab the smash. What an amazing end of the round, ladies and gentlemen!
Is the runner still running? I think he's still going.
It looks like the runner is actually still going. Looks like I will need to just...
Don't pull his wheel. Don't pull his wheel.
Oh, yeah. I just see if the runner can get out of this. Yeah, it looks like the runner... I don't know. Let me just get Maine's bumper off. He's actually stuck on Maine's bumper, I think. Let me get this.
Well, don't pull forward. That's where his wheels are. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Looks like Vancouver now battling to stop the runner as well. I feel like this should be the end of the round, honestly. But I guess the runner is still going. Yeah, I can't really get Maine's bumper out from under him when he's moving like this. Michigan bumping into the back of Vancouver, a little unfortunate for him. And yeah, the runner is now going as slow as can be. Michigan and Vancouver now battling for that point, despite the fact that JTF came in with an absolutely spectacular smash.
Looks like yeah, runner's still going, but he's going into the water now.
Runner is still going, but he could be potentially going into the water. Let me see if I can take this. Never mind. Vancouver still hitting him as well, so that's pretty incredible drop from Vancouver. Let me see if I can take this off. There we go. Maine's bumper's gone. There we go. Get out of here.
You know, I think regardless of if Vancouver catches him, JTF gets into the main tournament because he gets more points than everybody else.
That is true. Yes, Vancouver super aggressive, refusing to let the runner get back, and the runner is just about in the drink at the moment, and Vancouver is trying to prevent him from getting back up into the water. Onto the beach, I mean. Sorry, I had a brain fart.
So yeah, even though the winner has already been determined, it's still interesting watching Vancouver try to score this point.
Indeed, I feel like Vancouver definitely wants something to happen. Has anyone else arrived? I would assume. Here's LSPD right at you. LSPD giving Vancouver the help he needs to get the runner into the drink. Right as I say, has anyone else arrived? That was some good timing from LSPD. It looks like the runner is finally gone. I would assume. Let me just check. We turn the HUD back on. Yep, engine is broken. Runner is now gone.
So yeah,
What an incredible battle at the end of this third round, ladies and
who
gentlemen.
knew
here.
the last place car in the Invitational would be the one making it in? That proves position doesn't always matter.
I fully agree. Of all the people, JTF in the back manages to actually win this Invitational with 2 rounds, doing what Velasco never could in a single episode that isn't even part of the main tournament. That is such an incredible piece of one-uppance I've ever seen in my entire life.
So yeah, looks like JTF would be making it in. Let's check on the other cards right now. So here we have Michigan, who was in the front, expected to get points, but then he's over here doing whatever he wants.
Michigan really did try. Michigan tried mostly his best, except for the part where he fell off that cliff, that exact cliff over there. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough to bring him into the Invitational. This is actually the second Invitational that he's lost, because he was in the Atoll one, I believe, correct?
Yes, I think he started near the front too in that one. No,
I
that
think
was...
he was in the middle in that one, because I remember Britain and Japan were in the front.
Yeah, Britain and Japan were in the front, but...
What is he doing, by the way? What's he doing? He's just having himself
He's trying to find his way to get to the runner, but there's no path thing.
Oh, yeah, I suppose that makes sense.
So he's just driving back and forth and getting closer.
Indeed.
So
Poor
yeah,
Michigan, he's so confused.
so we have Vancouver in the river, as well as the runner, and LSPD. They actually, they've made the end of this round really interesting. They knew they weren't going to win, because JTF already got the point, but they were still trying to have their most fun trying to catch the runner.
And in addition, this is after the first round where LSPD smashed Vancouver after the round ended. So it's like some very interesting chemistry, if we're being completely honest here, between these two cars.
I mean, I think
Vancouver
LSPD
the
wanted
champion,
to...
LSPD the what?
I think LSPD wanted to smash Vancouver again. That's why he did this.
And he knew it was justified too, because Vancouver was fighting tooth and nail to get the runner into the drink. On one hand, I feel like I would genuinely want to give Vancouver a point, but at the same time, JTF won, so there would be no points. Jokes.
Yeah, JTF technically wins, but if this was a regular tournament, I believe these guys should get a point too, because they got the runner inside the river.
Indeed, JTF wins the Invitational, which means the points don't matter anymore. But if this were a normal tournament round, I would definitely think Vancouver deserves a point for that very fierce fight with the runner to get him into the drink.
And yeah, let's check on the other cars.
Was Interceptor, wherever Interceptor is.
Oh, Interceptor and, well, yes, Interceptor, he did score a point, but then he kind of like fell off at the end of this episode.
That is true. Default Interceptor performed so well in the first round, and yet wasn't able to keep it going for the next two. And unfortunately, that has costed him the Invitational. Very unfortunate for him. I secretly wanted to see how he would perform in the tournament, but that is okay because we have obviously a much more interesting and better competitor in the main tournament now.
And as also
And
we
Maine-
have we have Maine,
Maine
who
is
did
the
absolutely nothing. He did that. He's just
Hang on, wait, don't say anything.
Maine is the
Hang-
main problem
wait.
in this invitation.
Yes, indeed. Maine is the main problem. Maine is in pain. Maine lives in Spain without the S.
And
Maine.
yeah, what's the next car? What?
The main source of memes.
Yes, and then
Maine, just the most memey freaking pathetic performance. Yeah, we're just gonna not look at them anymore. All right,
LSPD
we
did
already talked
good.
about LSPD, I believe.
Next car.
Yep.
Oh.
Oh, these two idiots.
Oh well, yeah. Storybrooke, he had a fresh car in round 2, and then he crashed, and he crashed again here.
Storybrooke got no screen time this entire episode. They did not.
I feel like BIC got even less screen time. If his car,
BIC got even. Yeah, who's BIC? What are they?
yeah, he basically just
Not only did they not exist in real life, they also didn't exist in the tournament.
Yeah, he didn't really do any. These guys didn't really do anything. They just crashed and like were in the back. They had no excuse because JTF won the invitation and he was in the furthest back.
JTF was in Velasco's end position, and they actually won the Invitational too as well. So these guys had no excuse. In addition, Detroit, I'm pretty sure, is in 7th, and that's BIC's position. So BIC has even less of an excuse than Storybrooke does.
So
So,
yeah,
yes.
it's not normally you see the end of the chase here. Like there's not really a place where the chase ends that often.
That is true indeed. The bottom of the incline is actually a very rare place for the chase to end. I fully agree with you, my friend Devion.
Yeah, and then just push him into a river. That's very interesting. You know what normally happens at the bottom of the incline? they all crash into a tree like
Yeah,
an
indeed.
understeer.
You know what normally happens right here in this particular river? Nothing. Nothing, because no one comes here.
And then at the end, we have the runner that got hit on the beach, and then we got LSPD that put both of them in the river.
Indeed, we have the runner that got hit on the beach over here. Look, you can even see car parts of someone's. Yeah, that's someone's headlight, I think. You even see car parts here, remnants of it as well. And yes, the runner finally gets stopped just below this particular tiny little tree island. Yes, what an amazing end to this particular invitational. But yes, with all of our congratulations going to JTF, the winner of this invitational. Looks like that will do it for this particular invitational episode. My name is Usernamehere on my computer as well. This is my computer, just in case you forgot. In any event, that is it. My name is Usernamehere, joined by my co-commentator Devion, and we are signing out. We will see you next time.